I'm Tanya Mitchell. I'm a CEO and founder of Mission to Mars Academy and host and producer of Startup Investor Pitch Lunch. I have an exotic oriental look today because I'm traveling to Central Asia, Kyrgyzstan, preparing our special investor roadshow in Central Asia this spring. And we want to invite all investors to join us to discover new innovative ecosystems and emerging markets of Central Asia. Startup Investor Pitch Lunch not only connects founders and amazing innovators from all over the world with Silicon Valley and global investors, but we also help investors discover new innovative ecosystems, and we help them discover new markets and expand their portfolio and build their global brand to new locations. So today at our pitch session, we will have 7 amazing companies presenting their unique innovations. Most of them are based in the United States, so it will be a local event. I'm sorry, except from one company that is from UK. And let me list the companies that you will be hearing from today. Newton Graph, and AI thinking partner that transforms any information into a powerful interactive knowledge graph. You will hear from its founder, Julian Arpin, today. Conquiro AI, AI-powered hospital asset stewardship to improve efficiency and care of today's hospitals, presented by its founder, Timothy Coffin. Lucina Bio, a breakthrough biotech solution designed to prevent vision loss, by Christopher Chavez. Feed Forward, empowering tradespeople with transparency, reliability, and community support for small business owners. This platform will be presented by its founder, Emmanuel Alginavo. Tamber Financial, reinventing the future of digital banking. Neobank, built on the principles of integrity, honesty, and equality. Paul Singh is the founder of Tamber Financial. Flyback, a better way to fight fires, a company that is built in LA and inspired by LA's tragic reality of events that just happened recently. Banginos, culture, wellness, and AI, building the beverage platform for the future, presented by its founder, Justin Kill. Sorry, I will correct it later. Okay, so as our event flow goes, each company will have 5 minutes to do a pitch, and then 5 minutes for Q&A with investors. I will ask that everybody stays muted during our pitch session. Founders, you're welcome to share your demos, share your screen, do whatever it takes to impress our investors. Investors, you're welcome to ask questions and provide feedback to the companies after their pitch. Do not be shy. Our founders are eager to hear your opinion, your feedback, your reaction. You're welcome also to type your feedback in the comments in our chat room. If you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand in advance. I ask investors to be active, to be vocal in sharing their thoughts and feedback. We will be sharing all the pitch decks, all the founder contacts after the end of the event with all investors that are here live today and all investors that will be watching the recording of this event. And I want to also mention, list the investors that you will meet in this room today, or some of them you will meet in asynchronous format after the event. John Stewart, angel investor from Miami. Todd Yancey, angel investor from Silicon Valley. Many amazing early stage investors today joining for the first time. Martin Koev, private equity investor from Koev Brothers. Kai Wong, Alta Park Capital. Kay Grunwald, our friend and angel investor from US and Middle East markets. Jordan Wabeck, Silicon Valley Venture Group. Antoine Harden, angel investor. Curate Forum, Shubham Desai. Alex Galitsky from Almas Capital. Stefan Reiki, angel investor from Silicon Valley. Michael C. Dakov, Outlander VC. Mary Jo Potter, Healthcare Angels, Agneta Rosenberg, Interim Ventures, Bon Co, Venrock Capital, Harshit Amar, Angel Investor Silicon Valley, Jess Svoboda, Ridgeback Capital, Mohan Parthasarathi, Angel Investor, FedEx US Capital, Michael Antonov from Southeast Asia Investor Hub, Suraj Rajwani, Double Rock VC, Jason Inazi, Digital DNA Labs, Jeff Renshell, Fuel Venture Capital, Peter Stevens, BlackRock VC, Alex Locke, Techstars, Alex Karokin, Angelico Ventures. So those are not the full list of investors that will be looking at your investment presentations, investment opportunities in today and in the following week. So make sure you make the most of your pitch opportunity today. And having said that, I would like to invite our first presenter, our first pitching company to this virtual stage, and welcome Julian Arpin, Newton Graph. You will showcase your innovation that is an AI thinking partner transforming information into powerful interactive knowledge graph. You're welcome to do a screen share.
Fantastic. On my screen, that was a great introduction. Thank you. All right, 1 second. So I'm excited to show you Newton, your second brain accelerated. Stop taking notes, start building knowledge. Newton is the AI thinking partner that transforms your scattered information into a powerful interactive knowledge graph. Newton solves information overload with an insight engine and intelligence layer for synthesizing information. So here we have an image of a traditional use case within Newton. The user had inputted some information about the lore of the Dune book series. Here you can see the various characters from throughout Dune with their factions and their relationships visualized. Newton has a built-in chat agent, which has full visibility into the graph, as well as the content that's input into the document area here. And so the user selected this node, which represents Padishah Emperor Shaddam IV, and said, describe this character's motivations and moral alignment. As you can see, Newton can draw upon its own knowledge base, as well as the context of the graph and the document, and provide answers for any of your needs. So let's dig deeper into what Newton is capable of. First of all, Newton can input anything at all, whether that's an image, an MP3 file, MP4 file, spreadsheet, PowerPoint, of course, a PDF. So in this case, we have an image, the Mona Lisa, iconic, right? Inserted right here. So Newton uses high-end visual recognition to understand everything taking place within the document, in this case, the image. And here we have the knowledge graph built representing all of the ideas stored within it. Say the user had instead inserted a technical diagram or perhaps a map, then they'd be able to leverage Newton in order to better understand the relationships between the various components. Over here on the left side, we have the dashboard. In the central panel, we have the graph canvas. And then on the right side, we have the document information about the nodes as well as the chat agent. There are various tools that are built into the dashboard that I'm excited to show you. First off, I'll just mention executive summary. So Newton will draw only upon the graph and then provide a textual representation of everything in the graph. So if you happen to only have a graph, then you go to text as well as from text or image to the graph. And here you have the key concepts. We're performing a centrality analysis where we find which nodes receive the most references from other nodes, logic being those nodes likely contribute the most to the overall semantic meaning and importance of the graph itself. In this case, these were the most important ideas that were extracted from the graph generated by the Mona Lisa. So let's go a bit further here. So one of the many capabilities of Newton is a built-in IDE for programming. So this means that here we have about a 3,000 line Python program. The entire abstract syntax tree is visualized. Another exciting tool built into Newton is the topic clusters. So here we can see the node neighborhoods that work together to perform some higher order operation, holistically extracted. You can select a single topic cluster and see those nodes pertaining to that specific topic cluster. This applies to any graph, but in the case of, for example, writing code, this means that the developer can, for the first time, understand how various components of their program work together in order to perform the higher order functionality. And it moves in sequential order from the beginning of the document all the way to the end. If we were instead visualizing something like a biography or a timeline, the topic clusters may represent something like chapters of the individual's life. So Newton is a canvas for critical thinking. Here we have a poem. So the poem is about an eclipse. Sun, I blaze with ancient fire, bold and bare, a canvas stretched across celestial air. Moon, I drift in silence, ghost of night, a watchful guardian of hidden light. When paths align, a fleeting dance, day is shadowed by circumstance. Together, in cosmic rhythm, we entwine, two voices briefly redefined. Here you can see the ideas have been extracted and the semantic relationships are visualized. So we have the sun and the moon, orange nodes. Note the orange highlighting. There is a correspondence between the color of the node and the text that it was extracted from. We also have day and night in yellow, cosmic rhythm in red, and eclipse in blue. So if you notice, eclipse wasn't explicitly stated here. It was only referenced, described. Newton is intelligent enough to capture that nuance and bring it to the fore for immediate understanding from the user. So not only will Newton help you understand written materials, will also help you to better capture your own writing. Here's another exciting feature built into Newton. This is the argument mapper. So the famous logician Kurt Gödel had what he considered to be a mathematical proof for the existence of God. What the argument mapper does is it represents any premise, a debate, maybe a piece of philosophy or a legal document, and breaks it down into the core ideas, supporting evidence, counterpoints, rebuttals, the main idea. In this case, you can see Kurt Gödel said, there is a set of all positive traits. Because necessity is a positive trait, then the set of all positive traits, including, for example, godliness, must exist mathematically. And so that was his alleged argument for the existence of God. Here we can see a knowledge graph representation of the YouTube video about knowledge graphs from IBM. I'm excited to showcase that in a live demo shortly. Digging in deeper, we also have timeline graphs. So this is an excerpt of Napoleon Bonaparte's biography from Wikipedia. You insert that, you generate a timeline. You can see the events are charted in chronological order with the dates and the events themselves. If you click on a node, it will scroll through the document to the text that the node corresponds to. If you have highlights enabled, as we do here, and you click a piece of highlighted text, then the graph canvas will zoom to the proper node so you can see exactly where it fits into the bigger picture. Here we have something like a more conventional flow chart. So this is simply the conversation that a sales rep may have when they're making cold calls to customers. In this case, there's a decision point. What if the customer branches off into some different topic? How do you bring it back to the topic at hand? And so this is representing roughly how you can make that happen. One of the tools in Newton is an idea generator. So you can right click on a node and generate an idea of various flavors. 3 idea bubbles will emerge from that node, which can help you to broaden your own thinking. If you're using Newton to write an essay, then it can send you in a certain direction so that it's helping you to think more widely. It's not the usual paradigm where students will have Newton or AI do the thinking for them. With Newton, the AI helps the user to think more broadly and come to a richer understanding on their own. You can also see in the settings here, there are many customization options for Newton. We have hundreds of different color schemes, lots of shapes. There's even a few physics engines that you can choose between. There are a lot of things that you can customize in this platform. This is a geospatial globe mode. So if you happen to have text pertaining to various locations, Newton will intelligently extract those locations, find their latitude, longitude coordinates, place the pins on this interactive, gorgeous globe, and then the user can see the relationships. So this is fantastic for building understanding of something like migratory patterns, perhaps the logistics, a travel itinerary, maybe the outbreak of a pathogen. So you couple this with something like the chronological timeline that we saw before. And as you can understand, Newton will help the user to see things from a much bigger and more complete picture than they otherwise would. Here we just have a list of many of the features built into Newton and some of the fantastic reviews we've received from our users. So now I'm going to log in. We'll just do a quick demo. So anybody can access Newton at newtongraph.com. What I'm going to do is start a new session here. It's blank. And I'm going to use Newton for one of my favorite use cases, mapping a YouTube video. So I'm going to go to share, see if it will give me the URL to this YouTube video. I believe that's what we have here. So the Newton will take that URL, extract the transcript. I'm going to put this in markdown mode so you can see everything in a much more beautified manner. And so now Newton is reading through the transcript in order to build an interactive knowledge graph of the core ideas. And so there are various ideas that are here. If we click this button, then all of the bits of text that contribute to the nodes are highlighted, and then we can travel directly to the node. If you want to click on a node, then it will also move to where that node is located in the text. Because it's a YouTube video, I happen to be interested in the sequential flow of events, so I'm going to go and select process flow, regenerate. And so now you can take a YouTube video of any length and then break it down in a sequential manner and get this flow chart that pertains to all of the core ideas from throughout the video. If we scroll down and look at the topic clusters, we can see introduction to cosmological foundations, mathematical frameworks for the universe, geometric transformations in space, and advanced theoretical implications and conclusions. Let's say I happen to have some questions about this set of nodes. I can select multiple nodes, go to chat, say, tell me more about these ideas. So Newton will review the graph, review the document, build upon its own knowledge, and then here we have pretty quickly, in fact, a complete response that you can use to expand upon your own knowledge. There's a lot that's built into Newton, so let's quickly look. What happens if you click on a node? Well, you can build upon your notes as you continue expanding your knowledge, doing research. The chat agent can also see the notes, which increases your synchrony with the agent. Let's say you wanted to do a deep dive. So if there's more information to extract from the document, you can do a deep dive, and then supporting nodes will be added. So let's see. In this case, because it's a process flow, Newton didn't have anything new to add. So what if we back up to where we were here? Now that we're in a more conceptual space, let's do a deep dive. And as you can see, more information will be appended to the graph. If you don't want to do a deep dive on every node, that's fine. You can select any subset of nodes that you would like. So digging back in, because there are physics engines, if you want to, you can pin certain nodes in place. Whenever you pin the nodes in place, then they'll be protected from the physics engine. This spread out nodes button will spread the nodes out in case you need to make things a bit clearer visually. Over here, we can see the different concept types that exist, the number of nodes, the relationships that exist, the words that exist in the document. Here are the key concepts from before. So the Pathfinder finds the shortest distance between any two ideas, which means that you can find roundabout connections that you may not have otherwise thought of, which enriches your understanding of the topic at hand. With Newton, you can save your sessions, load your sessions, you can export them to other files. There's even a collaborate feature so that Newton users can work together on their graphs, which is fantastic in a team setting or a classroom setting. Over here in the settings menu, we can modify things such as the appearances. I will make some of these nodes hexagons. As you can see, all the nodes of this category person have been converted to hexagons. And then we also have the physics simulation. So if you switch it to Force Atlas, then you have a much more gravitational simulation. And then based on the number of nodes you have, the information that you're demonstrating, maybe you'll want to tweak these things a bit further. You can use this to change the edges, which are springs between the nodes. You have different styles of edges that you can choose between. So with that, we have Newton, which is a toolkit for thought. It's an insight engine that lets users build upon their own understanding and move through ideas in a much more intuitive way than they could have otherwise. You can edit the title if you want to. You can add new nodes. You can modify the connections between the nodes, hide labels for visual clarity. We have undo, redo functionality, pause the physics simulation. You can search for specific nodes, filter by node type. Here you can get a snapshot. Here you can refine the graph with AI. So if you wanted to, you could say something like, focus only on the nodes pertaining to Einstein. And once you apply that, Newton will look at the graph, look at the document, and then try to follow your custom instructions so you can get something that's more streamlined for your use case.
Julian, you are running out of time. You need to.
Yeah, sure thing. I know there's a lot that's going on here. So with that, remember it's at newtongraph.com, and I'll just jump over to the ask. So we are still trying to build our funds. So this is the seed round. We would like to gain funding so that we can continue the engineering, expand upon the team, implement an enterprise tier, work properly with businesses. We want to grow, which means reaching out to those businesses, proper marketing campaigns, up our sales. And we also want to expand our operations capabilities with better infrastructure, better GPUs. So for that, we are attempting to raise $1 million to accelerate from the product market fit to the market leader in this space of second brains, where we have Newton as the AI synthesis layer to bring all of your information together. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Well, congratulations. That was our first pitch for today. Great job, Julian. I know you were nervous, but you did great. And any
Oh, thank you.
supportive comments, questions from our investors, feedback, reactions, open mic.
What is your business model? How do you make money?
Great question. So we're currently operating with a freemium business model. I'm not sure if my screen is still being shared, but I'm currently looking at the pricing page right now. So we have the free tier. With the free tier, users get unlimited graphs, but they only get the basic graphs. Nothing fancy, none of the powerful tools like topic clusters or the chat agent. They're able to generate the mind map, the concept map. They do not have the chronological timelines, the geospatial globe, things that are exciting like that. They also can't save to the cloud, but we let them export the files that they can use to re-import later and pick up where they left off. We currently have monthly and yearly tiers offering all of the pro capabilities, and future steps include building out the enterprise tier, strengthening the collaboration so that we can work with business clients as well.
Amazing.
I'm sorry, did you mention any dollars in your?
Yes, so Newton is currently profitable. We have hundreds of users at this point, and we have enough pro users to sustain inference costs. For the amount that we're attempting to raise, we're hoping for $1 million in total so that we can go from product market fit to being the market leader in this space of second brains of knowledge management systems. That would allow us to do things like continue building out the team and product, operations improvements with better infrastructure, build out stronger marketing campaigns, and widen our funnel.
Would you be open to show your screen? We don't see you.
Oh, sure. Yeah, let me click back.
It would maybe create a little bit better connection.
Yeah, definitely. So here I'm on the pricing page. These are
no, to show your that we can see you.
Oh, you want to see me?
Okay. Agneta wants to see your face.
Yes.
Make a full impression of the founder.
And,
hey there, how's it going?
Okay, wonderful. Well, not me. We want to see you. So what was the pro users? How much do they pay?
So the pro tier is currently $11.99 per month or $100 per year. And we do not have the enterprise tier at this time, but we do have the collaboration feature, which is the foundation for the enterprise tier. So with this $12 per month, they get the insight engine, all of the integration features of Newton, which is a universal ingestion engine. Any file format you can think of, Newton can take and work with. And then they also get lightning fast, highly intelligent AI inference on top of that.
So I worked with a company a long time ago that was attempting to do something that was called content map. It was attempting to do sort of the similar thing with a brain map, if you will, with the content that you have on your laptop, for example. So this reminds me a little bit of that. But I'm not clear exactly how I would use it and in what way it would help me. But what do you think is your sort of primary, your beachhead user? Who is the perfect user for this? What do they want to accomplish? And
That's a good question. So a primary user could be someone working in a business setting trying to map out various requirements across a team. It could also be, as I showcased earlier, a developer using Newton to understand the architecture of the systems that they're building out. It could even be a student or researcher bringing in various materials to understand them and build upon them, to understand from the inside out what's really taking place.
And which of those categories do you think you're going to go after first? I mean, to do the academic or educational is sort of like one segment, or to go through businesses is
so the primary strategy
developer.
at first was to tackle the low-hanging fruit, which meant the individuals, whether that's the student, the researcher, or the hobbyist. Going down that avenue has allowed us to become profitable at the lower scale. The thing is, students, as you may know, already have many of their finances tied up. So in order to widen the funnel, we would like to bring in business users. So the next step is implementing an enterprise tier so that teams can use Newton for visualization, coordination, project management, note consolidation. Even after meetings, the transcripts can be visualized so that the core ideas are extracted and made known to everybody. As an insight engine, Newton will level the playing field, make sure everyone is on the same page. Clarity is the deciding factor in determining success in the new AI landscape.
Maybe we can use it for this session and see what comes out.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let's not experiment live, okay?
It would come later. We're still in the process of the call. But right, that would work, and that's a great use case.
Okay, yeah, transcribing, and then Zoom has AI for that, by the way, and notes are available after the session. We have Juliet from Houston Angel Network. I'm so happy to see we have more women investors today. You guys are lucky. Janine Grant, I see. You're welcome to ask questions. Todd Yancey, or if you have any thoughts, or who else? Mohan or Ohad, Yaniv, any thoughts on this company?
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting. I'm also trying to question I mean, you've done a great job explaining all the various use cases. Where are you seeing your revenue per use case, right? Are you able to track any of that right now?
Yeah, at this point, developers are the least likely to take up Newton. I'm finding hobbyists, researchers, and students are making the most use of it at this point in time. For example, if you were to go onto Reddit and share Newton, it would be people in maths programs, philosophy programs, people that are trying to pull in information from lots of disparate sources. Newton helps them to understand the inner workings of that content so that they can enrich their own knowledge. So at this point in time, that has had the greatest traction.
Okay. Years ago, I knew a company that was doing topical maps. So are you somewhere doing that internally and creating topical maps?
It would depend on what you mean by topical map. Do you just mean these knowledge graphs in general?
Well, something different. Let's maybe do this. I'll put my contact information in, and then you can just send me a quick note, and I'll send it off to you.
Okay, certainly. I would say because you can steer Newton, there are custom instructions. They're a fine graph with AI option. If there was a specific kind of clustering that you'd like to go for, you just type that in and describe it. Newton is intelligent enough to cluster the ideas for your use case, whatever it may be. The way that we were extracting the topic clusters, like we have demonstrated here, is by assessing the holistic and semantic interactions between the nodes. And so in this case, we do have the topic clusters that are mapped out. But I'll contact you further and we can dig in deeper based on your specific requirement.
Well, I need to say, Julian, congrats on getting one-on-one invite from Todd Yancey. I need to say I got this unicorn vibes from Julian's presentation when I first met him. So I'm sure that investors here will not miss out on this great potential this company has. Kai Grunwald, do you have any thoughts, feedback for Julian?
No, it's not really in my specialty wheelhouse. So it
But
looks
what is
interesting.
what is your reaction or suggestion, like feedback?
Yeah, it looks interesting. The first thought I had was when Julian started presenting was that, oh, that's like a visualizer for the AI, for ChatGPT, right? Because everything happens in the background. There are ways to kind of see what an AI, maybe a ChatGPT or anything else, does, but this kind of visualizes it for the user. So
That's what
I wouldn't
Google
know
does. It is a competitor of Google
exactly.
AI.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
So,
Newton gives you complete control, whether it's the appearance or even the type of semantic relationship you can build upon your knowledge, whatever it may be, whether it's for a business need or you're a student trying to build upon your own research, you can chat with Newton, customize why things are related, filter for whatever it may be. So there's a lot of potential here to enrich knowledge understanding.
So yeah, it is very broad application. Okay, well, I think we can continue discussing it further after the event and also in the chat room. And I want to invite, thank you, Julian. Great job presenting. Proud of you. I want to invite our second company to present their pitch, and this is Conquero AI. AI-powered hospital asset stewardship to improve efficiency and care of U.S. hospitals, presented by Timothy Coffin, the founder. Welcome, Timothy. The floor is yours.
All right,
Please
thank you.
tell us your vision about the future of healthcare in America.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Timothy Coffin. I'm the CEO and founder of Concuro. What we are doing at Concuro is we produced an AI-powered hospital digital twin. We use it for asset stewardship and things like surgical workflow optimization. So I started looking at this issue about 8 to 10 years ago when my son was in an emergency room in a situation like this. He had a medical problem. He had a cast on his leg, and the cast saw in the emergency room broke, and it took the hospital about 35 to 40 minutes to locate another one in the hospital. What I realized is they don't have any way of locating mobile medical equipment within the hospital. And as a result, my son went into septic shock. He almost died, and he ended up having 21 surgeries to repair the damage as opposed to the one that he was in for. So I started looking into this issue, which is, delays in care and the inability to find equipment in the hospital. And I found some pretty interesting things. My background is I have a PhD in health research science with a focus on AI and health informatics. So I started looking into this, and I found out hospitals are actually losing $12 billion annually in revenue due to this problem. Nurses spend an average of 75 minutes per shift wandering around the hospital looking for equipment. And then hospitals lose an average of $4,000 per bed per year in equipment that's either lost, stolen, or misplaced. Overall, this is costing our healthcare system $12 billion, as I said, but it's leading to significant clinician burnout and, as the case of my son, serious patient harm. So what we did is we put together a solution that's an AI-enabled real-time equipment location system overlaid on a digital twin of the hospital that provides you status of all the equipment on a mobile and desktop app. It does prevent equipment loss. It can streamline workflow and maintenance processes within the hospital. It's been shown to reduce clinician time by 75%. Or really 80%, and we'll talk about that later. It reduces or improves patient outcomes, and then can reduce the amount of revenue lost by about 75% due to these issues. What we've done is we've put together a series of multimodal tags, sensors and readers and servers throughout the hospital. Our system autonomously tracks the equipment, so we're not requiring healthcare workers to take additional time using this system. We don't require them to log equipment in and out or move it around the equipment and tag it and tell it where it is. It's an autonomous movement that tracks it. And then we will also provide mapping and insight. So, the desktop app will give them a geographic picture of where the equipment's located. Also, we provide workflow optimization and insights to the administrative side and to the biomedical side of healthcare. Our goal is to make sure all equipment is accounted for and accessible when needed. We ran an independent structured test this summer that shows Concuro really does deliver materially on this issue. In our testing, when we did our testing of the manual system the way we do now, hospitals had an 87% recovery rate of the equipment they were looking for. That means 13% of the time patients went without treatment. With our system, there was a 100% recovery rate. The time required to retrieve the equipment, baseline, there really was no set time. We showed an 80% reduction in the amount of time it took to locate the equipment, which reduced the delays in care. We also showed an 80 to 85% reduction in the distance they had to travel to find the equipment. So we have validated this system through some controlled experiences. Our digital twin architecture succeeds in a lot of environments where traditional RTLS solutions fail. We integrate with hospital CMSs, so we do bring into their traditional asset management systems. But we provide them a clean baseline when we start. So we inventory and give them a location of all equipment, and then we maintain the accuracy of that after that. So the financial value of our system is reclaimed by the hospital almost immediately. This market's a $45 billion market. Total hospital asset management, it's about $45 billion. As I said, nurses and hospitals and nursing homes represent about a $5 billion market space. And we're limiting, or not limiting, but starting with an initial focus of acute care hospital facilities with 200 beds or more, which is about a $500 billion market. But we do have the expansion up into the larger market. This is a system or a market that does have competition, but we are sort of unique in the market where some systems focus on the clinician needs, some systems focus on the strategic administrative aspects, like how many do we have and how many have we lost, and then others focus on the biomedical needs, like does it work? What our system is doing is really putting a system together that answers the question of all these stakeholders, the clinicians. We can tell them where it is and how it's functioning. The biomedical folks, if they have to update 800 fusion pumps, we can tell them the location of what's been updated and where it is. And the strategic, we can tell people how they're being used, where they're being used, and who's using them for what. We can also prevent issues like are certain clinicians hoarding equipment when we have emergencies. So we can make sure that that workflow of equipment across the hospital is standard. And then one bubble we don't show is security. All our systems will be geo-fenced, so if they leave an area of responsibility, we'll be able to notify clinical and security folks that your equipment is about to walk out of the hospital. As far as traction, we've come a long way since we started. We did our beta test with the Ruth Whitaker Holmes School of Behavioral Health and Science, which is partnered with Frederick Hospital. We had a 100% recovery rate, 80% reduction in distance and time to find equipment. We have a pilot starting with MedStar Health, MedStar Washington Health Center in January of 2026 to basically do this across a section of their hospital. We've closed our lead investor in September of 2025 to help fund this MedStar pilot. And then we have exclusive licensing from the Department of Energy for some real-time tracking and location stuff that also does power load technology. Part of what our system does is not only tracks it, but we're monitoring power levels because we are doing custom AI algorithms to do predictive maintenance and predictive failures on all the medical equipment they were attached to. We want to make sure that we know when equipment's going to fail, so we can intervene before anybody's life or health is put at risk. We've continually developed our prototypes. As you see, we started with a pretty bulky, clunky kind of thing, but now we're down to this prototype 4, which is a plug cap that goes onto the end of equipment. It does have it's a sensor that has your remote location. It has power monitoring capabilities. It has accelerometers, so we know when the equipment's moving. Also has multimode communications in Zigbee, ultra wideband, and LoRaWAN, so we can penetrate walls throughout the hospital and track it simultaneously or autonomously. Our leadership structure is myself. I'm a CEO. Like I said, I have a background in health informatics, AI, and health research. This is not my first company. I've started about 5 companies. I've had multiple successful exits. McLean is my software guru. He has worked in healthcare before and done startups before. Quite a talented healthcare or software engineer. And Michael is my hardware guy. He's a serial entrepreneur and is kind of an expert in AI and business analytics. We also have Hamish Stewart-Smith, who's a partner in Chartis Consulting, which is a very large healthcare equipment consulting company. Tom Reed is a congressman who was on Ways and Means overseeing healthcare, so has great context in healthcare. Additionally, being from New York, he's tied pretty closely with the Wall Street folks. And then Kim Trenbeth is the group manager for urban science and building technologies. She's kind of our go-to person when we look at building integration issues and energy issues associated with our system. Our business model, we have a three-tiered SaaS model. We're generating revenue, based on the per license bed in hospitals. The reason we're using per license bed is that is a somewhat of a legislated or regulated number within the hospital. And we do have optional AI-driven add-ons. Service fees, we have onboarding fees and data analytics as a service. Support packages and maintenance for system training and maintaining the system. And then we have optional consulting things to do asset utilization, workflow optimization, and investment strategy. Our future technology will be introducing robotics into this system. So instead of nurses having to go retrieve equipment, our system will bring the equipment to them. As far as financials, our average price for a 250-bed hospital is $350K annual subscription cost. We're expecting about $300,000 in average onboarding per location based on how many sensors that we have to update. And then an average value added service of about $125 for the workflow optimization and custom AI services. Our goal is to install 150 hospitals by 2029, and with starting our first one around June of 2026. We're just started a $1.2 million seed round. As I said, we do have our lead investor. 800,000 of that is for engineering and production. We need to produce our enough inventory to start installing hospitals. An average hospital will have somewhere between 5 to 10,000 sensors, in addition to the remote units that we have. 200,000 in management fees, and then 200,000 for sales and marketing to bring on our initial salespeople. What we're really looking for is, to create working installations with our pilot customers, and then transition into full-scale production, full-scale fielding, and then move on to other hospitals. As with MedStar, it's a hospital system, so we're starting with Georgetown. They have 11 other hospitals that, should this system work, we can deploy into. So, that's an overview of Kinkiro. Is there any questions?
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for wrapping up promptly. I was about to interrupt you. Okay, so what are some of the thoughts of investors who haven't spoken yet? Would be interested to hear your thoughts. I wanted to do an icebreaker at the beginning to ask you, if you had $1 billion of extra funding, where would you deploy it? What are some of the most interesting investments? Like, would this company be something you would consider investing if you had additional $1 billion? Okay, so let's hear some investors. Yes, please, Agnes.
Couple of questions. Hi,
Juliet.
this is Juliet, member
Hi,
of the
Juliet.
Houston Angel Network, and I had a couple of questions. The first is around the specifics of the raise. How long of a runway do you expect that 1.2 million to give you? And then can you talk about, I can't remember, you may have had the terms on there, but what the terms, minimum check size, things of that nature?
I think my minimum check size is about 25K. I'm an Air Force guy, former Air Force guy, so I expect that 1.2 million to get me off the runway and take off. That should get me to market. I've been self-funding up until this point, so what I need is the funding to expand my inventory and execute on our plan. So I think 1.2 million will get me 12 months if nothing happens. So it's and I'll put whatever money I need to if we don't get there. I don't expect to do more than one raise.
Okay, great. And sorry, I don't want to hog up. Just one more question.
Yes.
Have you guys dealt with any tampering of the unit? Is there detection that will help to prevent that?
Constantly, we are constantly pen testing our unit to make, like I said, I came from the military, so I understand the effects of cyber. I teach health informatics, and I understand the problems hospitals have in their with ransomware and penetrations on their systems. So we are constantly testing our system for the security aspects of it. It's not a forgotten. We baked it in from the beginning.
Thank you.
If I may,
Right.
are you only focusing on the equipment? What about drugs? And also, I also
No,
know
we're not at this point, we're not doing consumables. So, when you
just the
look at,
equipment. Okay.
when you look at the amount of mobile equipment, we are also doing, for our analytics, we do work power over Ethernet also. So we can tie into larger systems like the PET CTs and stuff like that and do the equipment diagnostics and predictive analytics on those. We're looking at not only smart devices, but dumb devices like surgical carts.
Mhm.
Surgical carts are like $350,000 pieces of equipment that get lost all the time for some reason. So,
Okay.
and things like wheelchairs, which obviously aren't powered. So we're looking at tracking both the smart devices and what we call dumb devices, I guess.
The
A couple
reason
of
I
questions.
raised it, I know that one of the largest problems also that tracking of drugs and also the ones that are expired within a hospital, but it's
Right.
adjacent field as well. Okay.
It's something we talk about, expanding into the consumables market. We will be tracking the drug carts, just not the drugs within.
Okay.
In the future, we're talking of consumables, but that's really a different technical problem.
And the tagging devices, are you outsourcing it or is it your own?
No, we're building our own tag
Okay.
because it's not just an RFID tag. There's a lot of other technology in it with the plug load and the analytics that are built into the tags and accelerometers and those types of things.
Yeah. Awesome project. Thanks.
Agneta, please.
Yeah, very,
Mhm.
very, very interesting. I'll be happy to introduce you to the health table. And I know the local hospital here, I'm in Walnut Creek, California, John Muir, is setting
Okay.
up sort of an incubator type thing. Perhaps they might be interested.
Fantastic.
I also have a question on the sensor because I happen to do a lab equipment inventory system for working on KTH, the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm. So I was just wondering if equipment kind of move around on its own in other situations too, not to the extent as in a hospital, I would think. But are you
Our roadmap does include moving beyond, this 200 acute care hospital into laboratories and university environments and potentially into logistics environments too. But,
Okay.
we want to
Oh, you
maintain
got
our
to do,
focus.
yeah, you got to
Yeah.
do one thing at a
Yeah, so we're
at a time.
focusing on this market because it's where believe it or it's one of those things when you look at this market, you go, how can they not have this already?
Yeah,
I ask myself that every day. Why is this not there?
yeah.
And I still don't have an answer to that question. That's why I keep pushing every day. I don't want,
Okay.
After what happened to my son, I've seen this happen in multiple times.
Absolutely.
Tim,
Well,
I have a,
yeah, go
sorry.
ahead. No, I'm done. I don't want to take any
Oh,
more
okay.
time.
Sorry. A couple of quick questions. So one, when you map your equipment, what kind of grid size are you talking about? And are you using Wi-Fi or any other?
Well, yeah, we're using multi-band, so we're trying to avoid Wi-Fi because there's an overuse of that in the hospital. But we do have the ability to do like Wi-Fi 6AG. But really, what we're relying on ultra wideband, LoRaWAN, and Zigbee. So we sort of have basically a with really
And
four frequencies that we
I see.
have.
And what's the smallest grid size? You locate an equipment down to 1 square meter,
Oh no, I think our SCP is like 6 inches.
Wow.
6 inches. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you currently have any pilots or anywhere where you've proven this
Yeah, we did a pilot this summer with the Ruth Whitaker School of Health and Behavioral Sciences and Frederick Hospital. So that was our first pilot. Our second pilot begins in January with Washington MedStar Health. That's the Georgetown, which I'm sure you've heard of Georgetown. That's Georgetown's hospital. And they're a 12 hospital system. So if the pilot goes well there, we're talking about a sale of not just one hospital, but 12.
Yeah, and you are aware of the competition to you with other smaller devices, right? Which are using anywhere from Bluetooth to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'm aware of. I dare say all the technology out there, but I'm aware of all the small companies out there, the large companies, and the sensors. The reason I am not reusing someone else's sensors is we just could not find one with the capability that we saw necessary. I could find RFID tags, but it's not just a question of tagging. It's a question of tagging location to be able to autonomously locate it. And then, in order to do the predictive diagnostics, we're looking at power loads that go in and out of the system.
What
And
does
then
it cost to make your device?
right now it's about $50 because we're hand building. But with once our PCB is done, we're expecting it to be between $5 and $10.
$10 on an average hospital, you expect to deploy about 1,000 pieces?
Correct.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, so yeah, the $300,000 installation charge is pretty reasonable. And people also ask me about, how long do we expect it? These batteries we have on our system is like a 3 to 5 year battery. And we expect after 3 to 5 years to do a tech refresh anyway, because we'll be updating. So our contracts are going to be 5 years. And at each renewal of a contract, we'll do a tech refresh.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Timothy. We must move on because we have more pitching companies waiting in line, but congrats on your presentation. I think you sparked interest from our investor community, and there will be more feedback as we distribute your materials across our network. Thank you for your presentation, and I want to invite our next speaker for today, Lucina Bio, a breakthrough biotech solution designed to prevent vision loss, presented by its founder, Christopher Chavez. Welcome, Christopher. Also, another important health problem to solve that is science-backed and science-based and really impressive. Welcome, Christopher.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, hi, I'm Christopher Chavez, CEO and co-founder of Lucina Biotherapeutics. So we're developing a first-in-class lipid therapeutic to treat dry age-related macular degeneration. Okay. So a little bit about dry AMD. So it's a leading cause of vision loss in people over 50. It's this progressive, irreversible loss of central vision. You can see in the image there on the right. There's no disease-modifying treatments for 15.5 million Americans with the early and intermediate stages of this disease. We estimate there's an annual potential market of about $26 billion to treat these patients. And we've
Sorry, your screen disappeared. Timothy.
Did it?
Yeah. So I don't know if you can go back or if Tanya can help you.
It shows it's sharing here. I'll
There you
stop
go.
it.
There
Is
you
it?
go. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a black screen, but now we
My
can
fault.
see
I
the
apologize.
Aha.
No problem. But you're back.
We're back. All right. So let's see. So we're talking about dry AMD, the leading cause of blindness over 50, progressive loss of central vision. There are 15.5 million patients in the US with the early and intermediate stages of this disease with no treatments. It's about a $26 billion market. We believe we've uncovered the root cause of this disease, and it's caused by the loss of these specialized lipids called very long chain polyunsaturated fatty acids. And that's what makes us different. We're actually treating the root cause as opposed to treating symptoms of this disease. And so again, there's 15.5 million patients. You capture, 10% of that market. Current drugs for the late stage of this disease are about $17,000 a year. So again, that's how we get this $26 billion untapped market. There's an additional 15 million patients, in Europe and Asia. So big unmet need in the massive market. Okay. So our solution is to restore the lipids to the retina and restore vision. So our platform, we're calling it the Perfacta platform. It's a lipid restoration platform. We're replenishing these lost lipids that are lost with age. We're the first and only therapeutic to target the root cause of this disease. And so the drug concept is an intravitreal injection of this lipid drug into the eye. And we're also working on an oral formulation. Okay. And so then here's our data. And so I'll just kind of walk you through this. So this has been recently published in Science Translational Medicine, which, if you don't know, is one of the top tier journals in the world. And so if you inject this lipid drug into the eye of a test animal and you label it green, you can see that it rapidly gets to the back of the eye, back to where the photoreceptors are within 90 minutes of injection. And then what's remarkable is we're able to really improve the visual function of these animals. So if we look at the black lines here compared to the red, so the black are untreated and the red are treated. So really quite rapidly within 5 days of administration, we're seeing a recovery in the vision of these animals. And this effect lasts out for 4 weeks with a single injection. Additionally, if we look at the actual retina itself, untreated animals, you can see they have these two proteins as complement and ApoE, which do not belong in the retina and are indicative of inflammation and disease state. But upon treatment with our drug, we see these protein levels begin to decrease, and again, quite rapidly within the eye. And then here, if we look at the dark adaptation response, when you come out of the light and into a dark, it takes a while for your eyes to adjust to that dim light. Well, when you have age, when you're older and you have disease, that time to recover is longer and longer. Same thing in our test animals, but when we treat them with our drug, we get this rapid improvement of this dark adaptation response. Again, showing that we're restoring visual function to these animals. And then underlying that is this gene transcription. So red is kind of the inflamed disease state, but upon treatment, the gene transcription of the retina returns to a normal state. And again, this is all quite rapidly within 5 days of treatment. And so if we look at the competitive landscape out there, like I said, most of these companies are treating the very late stage disease and treating symptoms of these diseases. And really, we're the only one that can treat kind of the earlier stage, intermediate stage here. And so we believe we have an advantage over them, and they are also these very expensive kind of genetic medicines, whereas is a simple lipid replacement therapy. So look at our timeline. So we're raising $5 million. That $5 million will get us to our IND filing in the middle of year 2. We're at the beginning here. So we've got all of our manufacturers set up, contracts ready to go. So first thing we're going to do is, do our PD and tech transfer, a few more non-clinical studies, have our meeting with the FDA, our pre-IND meeting. We'll come out of that meeting with our kind of time and cost to conduct the IND enabling studies. Then we can file our IND. After that, we'd have to raise a Series A, which of about $15 million to conduct a phase 1/2A study to look for human proof of concept. And if that turns out to be positive, we'd be looking at an exit, a possible acquisition by a large pharma somewhere in year 4. Okay, so this is our team. So you have myself, Marty, Jeanette, and David. We have together 100 years experience in developing drugs. Dorota and Gavin are our scientific co-founders. Kuroda discovered this technology, and Gavin is helping us with the oral version of this drug. Our director, Mitch Feiner, is 35 years in biotech experience, and he's helping us raise money. And then we have our kind of world-class team of clinical advisors helping us out as well. And so why you should invest now? Like I said, we have the first disease-modifying therapy for dry AMD patients. The science has been recently published in top-tier journal. We have a truly differentiated mechanism. Again, we're not treating symptoms, we're treating the cause of this disease. There's just an absolutely massive market out there with no one addressing the root cause. And these large pharmas are actively searching for treatments for these earlier stages of the disease. And really, this is really exceptional efficiency. So $20 million gets us, to human proof of concept within 5 years. And so, really here, what's at stake is that dry AMD is stealing, the most human parts of our lives, seeing the faces of the people we love, reading to a child, being able to drive, really living independently with dignity. And so our mission is simple: to restore vision, restore independence, and restore what matters most, and give people back to moments that really make life meaningful. And that, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, guys, I need to share a personal perspective. I recently started to notice that my eyesight, I was always so proud. I have a PhD as well. I was always so proud that my eyesight was like good enough to like take me through my academic career, my policy career, my business entrepreneurship consulting career. But now I started to notice that I'm losing my eyesight. It's getting worse. And it is just horrifying feeling. I don't know about you guys. You seem like you're old enough to
I
have
just
this
started having to wear
problem.
glasses myself.
It's just
inevitable.
so scary. Like one day you wake up and you're blind. You're blind. You can't see. We need innovation to solve this, to help people stay like active and like be capable like as long as possible. Like all the longevity startups are my favorites these days. So I would like to hear and scientists are always, I also want to mention, scientists are always so humble. You're doing a breakthrough innovation and you're just talking like this is a cup of coffee and it's nothing, nothing too big, but kudos. I think this is great, great project. I want to support you. I want to hear what our investors have to say. And once you find that your drug is safe, like reach out to me. I will try it out. Okay. Almar, I see you are back in game. You're now not driving. Do you want to say a few words?
This is
Harshit, Almar.
yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I was driving, and this is super interesting. Even on the last one as well. Yeah, some of these are like we see my opinion is these are like real innovations, basically which are helping people a lot in real world, right? Unfortunately, I don't have much of expertise on the healthcare side of things.
What are your thoughts of feedback or question? I understand not everybody here is a biotech investor necessarily.
Sure. So no, this is great actually. And in fact, if something is like some of those graphs which you explained about where pre and post comparisons, basically, that is kind of those are like a pretty interesting where and it's very promising to see that some things are like getting improved and on the eyesight of those things. So obviously it requires a lot of trials, and there is more skepticism about the solution as well. But then this is what my thought process was, that if it is actually working, that this is going to go really well actually.
Thank you.
So I'm okay. Any voluntary feedback?
Thank you, Tanya. Just wanted to have a little question from my side. This is Alexander Karakorin. Sorry, guys, I don't have, let's say, video today because of the poor signal, but just wanted to ask you, how do you measure the improvement of the, let's say, site in the rat models or animal models. So how do you measure this? That's quite impressive graphs here, but
Yeah.
let's say when you're
So
speaking about the efficacy, the first, so
so
that's
we'll look at visual
interesting.
function. So
Yeah.
photoreceptors are neurons, so they have action potentials. So when you shine light, you can pick up the electrical activity of the photoreceptors, and that's what you're seeing. So the animals are more
Okay.
so at the bottom, these are increasing.
And so what was the, let's say, the design of that study? So how much, let's say, rat model, or who was that? Maybe some,
Yeah,
let's
so
say,
these are
rabbits,
mice.
or who was the mice? Okay.
Yeah, and they're age. So like people, the mouse vision declines with age. They have the same processes.
And,
So these are very,
okay.
very old mice. Their vision has declined significantly. And then you
Mhm.
treat them, and then we're restoring vision in old mice, basically.
Okay.
Wow.
I got it. I got it. That's impressive, but that most of the rat, let's say, all the rat nosologists have already cured.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, with the
Will it
speaking
translate
with
to
healthy
humans,
people.
right? Yeah. Well, but we
Yeah.
see the same
And
processes, so we're hopeful, right?
sure,
So
sure.
there's a
And
lot more
maybe,
science I'm not showing you here
yeah.
that shows that.
Did you try any, AI algorithms with these models? Are there any predictions of if that will work or not on humans? Because that's the huge gap, as you know, when you're jumping from the
Yes.
preclinical to the clinical trials. It's the challenge, the main challenge in the biotech, actually.
Right. Not AI, but just, regular bench science. So we understand in the mouse what's happening, and then we can look in the human, and we see the same processes. It's
Okay.
it's an epigenetic downregulation of this gene called E level 2, which produces these lipids. We see the loss of lipids in the animals. We see them in human donor samples, and so we can compare human to mouse directly, and we see the same processes happening. So we are fairly
But
confident
you
this
just
will.
may spend some, let's say, time and money, maybe ordering that sort of the reports, that will also improve your proof of concept that will most probably work on humans. And in parallel, you can go to the, let's say, developing markets and have the, let's say, some maybe unofficial or official there human trials, and have the human data. And as soon as you have that, it, really dramatically improves your value. So what's your valuation right now, and how much do you raising?
Yeah, so we're raising so we're raising $5 million
Okay.
to get to the IND filing, right? So this is where we're at. So what we've done is, we've acquired the IP from the University of California at Irvine. We filed some of our IP, so we have the publication in Science showing how this works in animals. And so really we need $5 million to manufacture the drug, formulate the drug. We take that plan to the FDA. We have our pre-IND meeting. They give us the okay, right? Then we can finish kind of the manufacturing of the GMP grade drug, do the toxicology studies, and then you take that back to the FDA and say we're ready to start human trials, and they give you a thumbs up. So to get to that stage, we need $5 million.
Yeah, and the FDA meeting, so you have the, let's say, okay.
So there's
and it will be just the, let's say, safety study, but you start with that.
Yeah, safety in the animals. Oh, the human study. Well, we start with. Are we talking about the human trial? Sorry.
Yeah.
Or the animals.
Okay, thank you, Angelico Ventures. We need to speed it up. We have another question from. Thank you so much, Alex, for asking this question. John Stewart, you have a hand raised, and please.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Tanya. Just a quick comment, a question. Comment is if you try to access grants, having some non-dilutive money, moves you forward immediately and also makes you more attractive to investors. And the type of project that I'm interested in for a very expensive drug development process is a company that has, I have example, a novel brain cancer treatment modality that's non-invasive and has great early human results. and they have $47 million from DARPA to go to the next phase, and they just need some capital to pay for overhead. That's super attractive to me.
Yeah.
The question in your case is, so thought, try to access some of that, your comment, and question, isn't the gold standard for this Lucentis or other VEGF injections to the eye every 2 to 3 months? And isn't that the measurement that you want? Is here's why we're this much better than Lucentis?
So there are two main forms of dry AMD. There's wet and dry. You're talking about wet AMD, which is different disease.
No, well, no. A close relative of mine has had dry AMD for 17 years and has been getting injections into the eyes. I should say more precisely, was dry in both, is now wet in one,
Yeah.
but she's been getting Lucentis for 17 years when both eyes were dry. So that's incorrect.
I have to disagree with you. I mean, this is my field. I understand this. That's a VEGF inhibitor. VEGF is the growth factor, which is causing the vesicles to grow into the eye and leak. And that's the wet version. You have to dry that up by blocking VEGF. That's what Lucentis is. This is dry AMD. It just does not have the same mechanism. Sorry. So that's not how it works.
My understanding is, and
I know,
again,
I heard
it's
you.
studied because I've looked at lots of eye projects.
All right, one of us is wrong.
Is that it's a preventative method for dry developing into wet.
John Stewart got into many arguments here with the pitching companies, by the way.
It's okay. We don't have to agree, but
well, I mean, what you said
investors
there,
always
glass was different.
say, here's how we compare to Lucentis, or here's why it's not necessary.
So,
you're just telling me I'm wrong, and that says I'm never going to invest in this guy. So just saying that's the way the game
Whoever
works.
has the money is right.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Okay.
No, like Elon Musk says, gravitation
I
is the
thought
only
this
law.
was
Like
science
laws of
talk.
physics are the only laws. Everything
it's all
else
okay.
is a recommendation.
I respect you, and it's your field.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for the discussion. We need to move on because we have actually more companies waiting to pitch. Thank you so much. Lucina Bio, please don't forget to stop sharing your screen so we do not have
stop sharing. There we go.
Yeah. So we do not have an interruption. So okay, let me see who we have next. Okay, our next presenting company for today is Feed Forward, empowering tradespeople with transparency, reliability, and community support, an application for small business owners, and its amazing founder, Emmanuel Alginavo. Please share us some exciting stories that people want.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me, Tanya. I really appreciate you hosting this and organising it. I do apologise, guys. My laptop actually got stolen in San Francisco a couple of days ago, so I've got to.
No, you're
work off
hustling.
my phone.
Doing the right thing.
Yeah. So
online and offline.
Yeah. So what I'll do, guys, I'll share my screen quickly. Where are we? Oh, you got to be kidding me.
That is a trash container,
I do apologize for
not
this.
a presentation.
That's
San Francisco scene. San Francisco is typical for instead of PowerPoint pitch deck, you can see.
It's a funny place, I tell you. So guys, my name's Emmanuel. I've been a plumber for 17 years and run my own plumbing company for just under 10 years. Now I run a very successful 7-figure business back in Australia. However, though, there was a pain point that I kept facing and a lot of small business owners kept facing as well, was problematic clients. So I sat down and thought to myself, there has to be a better way for businesses to be able to either dodge or know who they're working for. So what I created was Feed Forward. Feed Forward is the first ever review platform for business owners to be able to search and leave reviews on past, present, or future clients. So for example, Tanya were to be, I'm sorry, Tanya, I'm going to use you as an example.
Yeah,
if Tanya was
a
a problematic
client,
client,
yes, you can use my name as an example.
Yeah.
But we talked about bad reviews, that
so-
one person can spoil your, year of work.
Yeah, absolutely. So if Tanya was a problematic client, I'd be able to go on the Feed Forward app as a business owner, and I'd be able to see that Tanya is a problematic client, and I'm able to dodge Tanya completely
I
because
am
as
a
Tanya,
problematic
yeah.
client, 100%.
Look, generally most clients are good, but you might get your ones. But all it really does take, especially for a small business owner, is one bad account or one bad client to completely sink a business. Now, with small businesses, it's not like larger corporations or anything like that where they will write off the loss. When a small business does fail, the family home goes. The family breaks apart, marriages fall apart, and people lose everything because it's their livelihood. Now, my target
Tell a
audience is
story of your friend, the story that you told me. It is so touching.
yeah.
Like what
So
happened, like a use case,
yeah,
what can happen because of the bad review? It was a small business owner. It
of
can
course.
end
So
your
what happened?
life.
Yeah, of course. So what happened to me personally was, to this day, I'm owed probably not probably. I checked zero the other day. It was $180,000 that I'm owed by clients, and I had a friend of mine who was a concreter by trade, finished a fairly large job for somebody. Unfortunately, he wasn't getting paid, not because his work was substandard or anything like that, just because the person was somebody that was constantly known for ripping people off. Unfortunately, he couldn't sustain the loss, and he sadly took his own life. I also have another personal friend named Mark. Mark owned a substantially successful steel fabrication company that was generating 7 figures a year. Really successful, beautiful home, beautiful marriage, beautiful children, and unfortunately sustained a loss. Couldn't come back from that, and sadly lost his home, resulting in losing his marriage. Then his wife took his children from him, and unfortunately, to deal with his depression, he turned to drugs and alcohol. He's now in prison serving 8 years, which is unfortunate to go from such a successful business owner to somebody in that situation. Now, my target audience is only small business owners. The people that the mum and dad are working, the wife might be doing the accounting, the husband's, on the road or whatever it may be. So anyone stemming from your plumber to your electrician to your bakery to your accounting firm to any small business. Currently, we're very active in Australia. We launched in late 2024. I did take some time off just to deal with some personal stuff. I had a tumor that I had to beat, and I bet that with ease. And then I also lost my father, and I became a father. So I did take about 6 months off leading the product. However, though, I'm back in track, and we're sitting at just under 870 active users in Australia, predominantly in Melbourne, Sydney, and we are growing substantially. Now, I've been self-funded from design to concept to everything, and I'm currently seeking an investment of $2 million, which will be my first and only ever investment raise that I will be raising. Due to the way we will monetize it is through a subscription base, where a business is able to pay a subscription fee of anywhere between $20 to $30 a month, and they're able to have complete access to the platform. The platform is verified and secured, so no Joe Blow is able to have access to the platform. It's only business owners that are able to have it. So it wouldn't be Joe Blow as a person joining the platform. It'll be Joe's Plumbing, Joe's Electrical, Joe's Handyman Services, Joe's Paving, whatever it may be. We plan to monetize through subscriptions. However, though, I am in discussions when I do return to Australia. I'm currently in the US at the moment. Beautiful weather here, by the way. And I'm currently in discussions with 5 debt collection companies. So if a person were to be reviewed and not paid an invoice, we are able to then refer that bad review to a debt collection company at a commission of the debt recovered. Yeah. And
Okay, so
so
Emmanuel,
like I said,
he
guys, we're
does
sitting at
have, you do have a pitch deck. I saw it. You do have actually a
I
structured
do, I definitely do. I can guarantee you,
presentation,
yeah.
and
I'm happy to yeah, look, I'm happy to you've got it if you don't mind, Tanya, if you can
but it is
please send it to
important that
everybody,
we
because I'm
heard
feeling a
your
bit embarrassed.
story, that we will share the pitch deck with investors. You are already in
Yeah, I
Silicon
appreciate it.
Valley, which means you are doing the right thing and you are already there. You invested your own money in your company, so it is
Absolutely.
What is the current traction of your startup?
So current traction is growing rapidly. From yesterday, I refreshed this morning, and we had 21 new signups. It's growing rapidly. So I've never seen a morning where we don't have less than 5 people join, and there hasn't been any paid advertisement or anything like that. It's all been organic. So over TikTok, however, though, I have been making videos. We've generated 500,000 views, which has been phenomenal. There's a very strong need for the market. I dare anybody on this call to, go outside and ask a small business owner or ask a contractor, ask them if they have had a problematic client, if they've had a client not pay them, or simply put, do they have a client they wish they never met? And I can guarantee you 8 out of 10 people will say yes, yes. And you'll see the fire in their eyes burn because
How much did you invest in your own venture?
My own money, I've put in just shy of about $170,000. That's Australian.
So you invested already over $100,000 of your own money as an entrepreneur in your own venture, and you have paying clients currently. Yes. Okay.
No. The platform at the moment is free. The reason why it's free is because I'm trying to build up that database to make it more appealing. So I believe once we hit about 5,000 users, which I don't see why it wouldn't happen within the next 5 months, we're then able to bring in the subscription fee, because it's kind of like a fax machine. It's no use if only one person has it or 2 people have it. We need to get the word out. So we're starting locally in Melbourne and Sydney, and then we're branching off into other states in Australia.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. Let's see if you have any
Thanks,
feedback.
guys. I appreciate it. And then I do apologize. I feel a bit embarrassed pitching without a pitch deck. So
no, it's okay. It is a hustle. We understand. You are in San Francisco. It is a dangerous city. You have to watch out. And good luck. And any feedback, comments, questions? As I promised, we will share the pitch deck after the event. We will have another presenter.
I should be able to put I can put a pitch deck on the chat. So I'll be able to hopefully do that.
Okay, well, we will connect you just to optimize time. We will connect you with investors that are interested. We will share your deck, and for how long you will be in San Francisco?
I leave in a couple of hours.
Okay, so today is your last day. Okay.
I'm flying home
then
today.
You will be having more Zoom conversations, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
And if need be, I'm happy to fly back to the US.
Okay, good job. I love the entrepreneurial spirit. Happy Thanksgiving, and we wish you all the success. You have great energy, you have great spirit, you have your personality, which is important. You are just a disruptor, so I personally believe in you, and we will definitely help you out.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Tanya.
Okay, well, awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Stay in touch. Okay. Now we would need to move on as we have time that is running away. I want to invite our next company, Timber Financial, reinventing the future of digital banking, and its founder, Paul Singh. Paul, are you here?
I am indeed.
And welcome, Paul. You're from UK. Do people in UK celebrate Thanksgiving?
No, I don't think we do, but happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the US.
Thank you. We will eat a lot of turkey so for the rest of humanity. Awesome. Yes, please share about your company. You can share your screen.
Excellent. Hello everybody, I'm Paul Singh. I'm CEO and co-founder of Timber, and we're addressing critical unmet needs in the banking market. Now, an interesting fact as to why we probably need to do that is that the top 8 banks in the UK have around 95% of market share. So when we see lots of these new neo banks and things coming online, the problem is that they, along with 300 banks, 300 building societies, which are mutual banks, 250 credit unions, and 3,200 payment firms, are trying to seize 5% of the market. So, so it wouldn't make much sense to do that. But at the same time, through our own experience and knowledge, we've seen there are significant unmet needs within the market. So we've identified three big problems to start with, and we've got three simple but innovative solutions. We have a strategy that will allow us to be immediately profitable, and we think this will be a compelling investment opportunity without equity burn for investors. Importantly, we've already applied for our full UK banking license and had very, very positive feedback from the Bank of England. And with our business model, profits fund growth and fund the technology build and other things. And we also have baked into the plan key milestones that increase the intrinsic valuation of the business to the benefit of early investors. So what are these unmet needs that are so critical? Well, the first is that SME property investors in the UK can't really get financing, or not in a sensible timeline. They often face significant delays, and in that time, they lose their deal. So the solution is pretty obvious. Provide those SME property investors with fully secured short-term loans to bridge that gap until they get their long-term finance. The really good part is that these are totally unregulated loans within the UK, and it means that we can commence writing those loans and deploying that product as soon as we draw down investment. They're highly profitable and extremely low cost. You quite literally just need a laptop, a mobile phone, and some money. The market is growing rapidly and extremely hot in the UK right now. Importantly for us and for investors, that product drives revenues while we complete our approval as a bank. But once we're authorized as a UK bank, or in the EU, they're called credit institutions. I believe in the US, you refer to it as obtaining a banking license. But once we obtain that banking license, we can take deposits. And importantly, we can leverage those deposits. Unlike other fintech firms like Wise, Adyen, Revolut, etc. And we'll deploy those deposits into further lending, reducing the need for further equity and capital investment, but importantly into other products also. So the way this business model works is that the first product and its profits pay for the bank. The second product, which is taking those deposits, grow the first product and pay for expansion, and importantly pay for us to scale. And the third product is the way we scale. Oh, sorry. So this second product, around once we've got that deposit taking capability, there's a huge unmet need, which is that SMEs, not just in the UK, but across Europe, can't get banking services or bank accounts. So SMEs, fintechs, online businesses, online sellers, digital enterprises, and regulated industries such as gambling, gaming, even online computer games. Those vendors cannot get bank accounts. And in fact, quite the opposite. In 2023, 140,000 SMEs were debanked in the UK, many more across Europe, and last year, many more again across Europe and the UK. Those firms are forced to use payment institutions and FX brokers and electronic money firms for their banking. And all importantly, their deposits are not covered by the government depositor protection scheme, which in the US you call the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation scheme. Here it's called the Financial Services Compensation Scheme, for example. But they're not covered by that. And under new regulations in the UK, the clients will put their funds into one of those payment institutions like Wise, Revolut, Adyen, and they have to immediately place those funds into a safeguarded account with a bank. And really importantly, those payment institutions that have received those funds can't do anything with them. So the solution that we have is called Tamba Vault. It's a Tamba bank account. We will have, obviously, with our deposit taking capabilities. The client places their funds directly into a Tamba bank account. We cut out the middlemen and all of their fees. And importantly, unlike those other fintechs, we'll be able to invest those deposits in money market funds, in lending, and importantly, we'll be able to charge interest or give interest. The addressable market is extremely large. So that's just an example of some of the firms that we could target that would need this product and which have been debanked by the other bigger banks. And we would use fixed term deposits to match the tenors of our lending. So that's the benefit of having short-term lending. And in that way, we'll eliminate that liquidity mismatch that traditional banks suffer. Again, it's a highly profitable product, and our projections are just based on taking a portion of those deposits and putting them into money market funds. But obviously, if we were to put them into the lending product, which has a much higher rate of return, those profits would be even greater. As mentioned before, those first two products essentially pay for the tech build and enable us to scale. And we will scale by entering the consumer banking market. We will build a superior technology for the mass market that we can deploy readily in other jurisdictions. So why would we do that? And the fact of the matter is, not just in the UK, but in many jurisdictions, particularly even in the US and other European countries, average customers are considered to be subprime. I think even on middle incomes, they're considered to be a new phrase, which is called near prime. And the simple fact is that they get very poor products, very poor pricing, and the bigger banks really don't need their money. So our solution is called SOCFI, and it stands for socially responsible finance, but it's essentially a mixture of using technological advancements with a disruptive approach. That addressable market is huge, and it is larger in other countries again also. And if I've got time, I'm going to come back to this slide to give you an example. So we envisage this to be a suite of products. You get a SOCFI bank account, and using that disruptive approach and technology, we would give you access to different products. We will couple mobile technology with open banking, which is not very big in the US right now, but is huge in the UK, Europe, Brazil, and other markets. We'll couple that with third-party data, an AI engine, and that disruptive approach to offer low touch, low cost, extremely profitable, appropriate products to meet client needs, not just giving them a really poor bank account. An example of this, and I will come back to this if I've got time, Tanya, is SOCFI Advance. So this red line here shows you what the normal risk reward trade-off is. So poorer customers are considered to be more risky, so the reward that the bank gets should be greater, and that is translated by giving them higher interest rates. So sometimes, phenomenal rates, and these are even capped in the UK at 1000%. But we take a completely antithesis view of that, and we say, no, we will charge every customer the same rate, but instead we'll modify the risk. So that's that green line. So we take the same risk, and up to a certain point, we will modify that risk down. Importantly, using that combination of open banking, of the AI, mobile technology, third-party data, we will get a very holistic view of the client's or the customer's real full financial position. And on that basis, what we'll be able to do is offer them much more appropriate products. So when it comes to that lending, for example, they might
Paul, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you need to speed it up. We have two more companies to present in the next 10, 20 minutes. So
no
we need
problem.
to.
So look, it's a very novel technology. Nobody has packaged this together in this way. So we need £5 million as the minimum capital requirement for our banking license. But thereafter, any capital over and above that, we're able to obviously accelerate our progress, increase our profitability, and scale faster. We've got a great team. I'd like to just finish on this one. I myself am a former senior advisor for prudential regulation to the Bank of England, and I was head of compliance at State Street Bank and Trust. And since then, I've held several C-level positions in fintech companies. Philip Bedos, our chairman-elect, is a banker of 40 odd years. Satinder is our GC and has worked several tech companies and works as a private equity lawyer. Dr. Damray is a non-executive director. He's a med tech entrepreneur.
Okay, we see all the logos that represent your team members, and we understand they are all super experts.
In short, we have banking, finance, tech, legal, product knowledge, finance knowledge within our top team. So what I would say to you is Tamba poses a unique investment opportunity for you. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Do you have any questions?
Okay, thank you so much. Neobank is super important, especially the financial system as broken as the healthcare system in America. I'm sure there are a lot of opportunities. Paul shared that they are scaling this company to the global market. It's not just United States. It is like all the globe beyond just Europe. So it is definitely a great investment opportunity. I would like to hear thoughts, feedback for Timber Financial. Actually, since we're talking about global scale, we have an investor from the Asian market, Southeast Asia. Michael, I know it's late in your time zone. If you're still here, like, do you want to say a few words? Paul, so basically, from our experience, when investors do not immediately react, it does not mean a lack of interest. All it means is they are taking your information that you shared, and they are analyzing it. And there will be people reaching out to you after this event. I can guarantee that. It's just maybe that is not necessarily like a discussion that is a public discussion in a public discussion space. Yes.
We've got lots of information we can share. We've got a full 5-year financial projected model with cash flows, everything you might need.
You have a lot of expertise. I want to appreciate, I love founders who are also subject matter experts, and you've been doing a lot of work on a government level for financial systems in the UK, which is pretty impressive. I would say this is beyond startup level, right? So definitely you have deep expertise.
One small point. I mean, to get it to this point where we're just pre-approval from the Bank of England normally takes people, literally millions of pounds. And I've helped other clients, for example, who have been out to, get top law firms and top consulting firms to help them get banking licenses and even simpler licenses with the UK regulator, and have spent 1.5, 2, 3 million. So I've been through this process several times myself. But anyway, please do reach out if you think it might be interesting.
All the information is captured, will be shared with across the network, and our interested parties will be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul Singh. That was Timber Financial. And we have 2 more companies to go. Stay with us. I want to invite also a very innovative founder, very unique founder to this virtual stage, Flybag. It is a solution to the fires that happened recently in LA, and that apparently people were not prepared to deal with that problem. That is not even AI level problem. It is a very infrastructure level problem, but for some reason, California failed to solve it, right? So Flybag is an entrepreneur. CJ Rong is offering a better way to fight fires. That is based on LA case study of recent fires that happened. And there are entrepreneurs and startup founders that are not waiting for the government to come and solve the problems, but they are offering solution themselves, right? CJ, welcome, and share with us about your innovation.
My name is CJ Rong, and I have a PhD degree. That means that I try to solve all the problems that other people cannot solve. And that's why I come into this invention in order to try to help the people in California, especially what happened in this year, that a lot of houses are burned down due to the wildfires. And the government cannot do so much because when all the houses are burning, they do not have the capacity. That's why I want to empower every individual, every resident to have their own equipment pre-installed before the fire comes. And in that case, I invented this product. I call it Flybag. It's kind of a fire blanket, but I have made a handle on it. That one, you can grab it, you can stretch it out, and that will become a unit that you can extinguish the fire. It will basically cover 1 square meter, which is 10 square feet of the house. And in that case, I want to establish this company. Is called Active Fire and House Cares. Based on this invention, and for that, we have 2 versions of this one. This one is physical, and the other one will be digital. I understand everybody here, they are technology investor. And then here's your chance. In order to invest on something like cryptocurrency, you should invest on this physical product, and at the same time use this as a token so that people can both use it for practical solution and for the digital solution. And this Flybag actually has no, it's made of silicon, so it can stand for 1000 degrees Celsius. And that would mean, let's say, for example, a car or a house, everything burn, but this one will not burn. So it will cover most of the things. So when the police say to you, you need to leave the house, you can put these things on top of something that you want to protect, and then you can leave the house. And that will be the big advantage. Another thing, it will be the digital version of it. So the people can use it as a deposit so that they can pre-install all this equipment in their house. And so when the fire comes, they can use it. If the fire doesn't come, and let's say in a normal day, they can use this equipment for 3 other uses. One is as a shelter. When there's a rain, when there's a snow, you can use it to cover yourself. Another thing is that you can protect the stuff that you want to protect so that the fire cannot reach you. And then the third thing will be that to extinguish the fire. So this one is actually a fire extinguisher. So instead of a heavy extinguisher that you normally use, like 6 kilograms a piece, you cannot bring it into the car, you cannot place it everywhere. This one, you can bring it everywhere. So I would say, if people are here, try to invest, you should invest on this one, because a lot of people have lost their houses. It's a $1 billion market. And this is a very simple device. I want to establish this company so that I can help the people in California and in Los Angeles, especially, and also in the other country. And I also try to mention that I have an international patent on this material, and I have an international patent on this device. And I also have a certificate from the European Union so that I can use all over Europe. And however, in America, there's a special requirement, so I need to reach that also. But I think to convert the European Union certificate into American certificate, that's not a problem. And for a small device, we can just sell it straight. And now I want to say a little bit about the problem, because you understand that the problem of fire is that people start to get panic and they don't have time to protect themselves. With this equipment near you, you can always bring it out and protect yourself. Another thing is that people are depending on centralized response, which is the fire department. They normally come very late. When the fire department reach you, let's say half an hour or maybe 1 hour later, all your stuff has been burned down. And so it's much better to have this equipment by your side and like protect yourself. And so that's why I use this as a decentralized equipment. Another thing, people will say, okay, how much it costs? I will sell this one with $100, and you can either purchase it physical or you can purchase it digital. With the digital, you can use it to exchange for other stuff. At the same time, I can build houses, because I know a lot of people burn down their houses already. So for the people who still have their house standing, they can purchase this equipment to protect themselves if they have their house burned down already. Then I can help them to rebuild their houses. I have a pitch deck so people can share. I don't want to share the screen now because I see the time is very limited for the other people. So people can read my pitch deck and they can reach me. And I want to raise $500,000 to start this company. And the rest, I think we can sell it to people so that we can get money from the market. It's a huge market. And if people invest on this one, they can either use it to protect themselves or they can use it as an investment so that they can exchange for value that they want. So this one is both equipment and at the same time a token for $100. So people can invest on it. It will be much better. They invest on digital currency, let's say Bitcoin. You cannot see the Bitcoin, but you can see this equipment. Okay, so I want to introduce
that is a very nice touch to people that want to prefer to invest in material assets. So yeah, yes. Bitcoin is really volatile lately, so definitely
yes.
The solution to fight fires sounds like a better investment opportunity.
Yes, just read my pitch deck and try to come to me, and your investment will be used wisely and will reach a lot of people. I think it's 10,000 houses burned down in Los Angeles. If we can help 10% of them, and it's a big, big market. So I appreciate everyone to be here. I hope everyone that have some money can introduce or invest some money on our efforts so we can help everybody. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much, CJ. I saw a question for you in the chat. People were asking if you are based. Where are you based? You're based in LA?
Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. So you are a local entrepreneur.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. I try to establish in Los Angeles. I have many landowners that already have their land burned down. And they would ask me to try to rebuild their houses so I can build both temporary houses or concrete permanent houses. So the investment that you come to me, you will both use on investing on this device or exchange to land and houses for the people. So that will be a very secure investment.
So it is also works as an insurance package that you can resell, in my understanding.
Yes, exactly. So this will be a value invested, and at the same time, we are talking to the tax office. So people purchase this, they can get tax refund or tax reduction from your tax. So that will be another advantage. So that would means it's kind of a private insurance or private security that you purchase for yourself. So you can claim tax reduction on your tax. That's also the
advantage. As you mentioned, you can use it from the supply that you held it at to like put down fires if there's a fires in neighborhood, and then that neighbor that is not using the device can basically sell it or like get refunded for the usage by the neighbors.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Because 1 unit of this one will cover 1 square meter, which is 10 square feet. So you count how many square feet you want to protect, and then you pre-install this equipment into your house, so that when the house occurs, you can use the pre-installed equipment to extinguish the fire. But if your house are not in fire, your neighbor's house are on fire, you can use, we can take your storage and extinguish the fire for your neighbor. And then, of course, you send the bill to your neighbor, and then you help the others help you. So that will be my network that I want to build. And for that, I require investment in order to build a system and in order to invest on the digital currency and the AI and the network. So that's all I want. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. Well, congrats on your presentation. Definitely, that is a much needed solution. I think you should talk to California government and present that as well as federal government, hopefully. So, guys, do we have any reactions, any feedback, comments for CJ on his innovation?
Oh, I have to connect.
Somebody is trying to speak. I'm not sure I can see necessarily who is speaking.
Yeah, it was me, but I was connected on 2 places. I didn't want to.
All right.
But there is a venture fund that focuses on fire prevention. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, fire prevention. Yes, you can use it to prevent the fire before it occurs. When the fire comes,
I'm sorry. That invests in everything that has to do with fires, and I will look it up and see if I can remember the name of it in a second. I will get back to you in the chat.
Sure.
So Agneta was saying that there is a fund that invests in everything that is fire prevention related.
Fire prevention of fire, dealing with fires. Yeah.
That would be a good place to start.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to look it up, and I can just put it in the.
Yeah, if everybody can help me to get those funding, will be also great.
That is a nice way to put it. All right. So who do we have here? And in fact, I want to do a quick check because I think we are missing Banginos, founder. Justin, are you in the Zoom call even? Because I think I was not able to locate you. Justin Klein and Banginos, are you in the room? Because they messaged me, they were traveling, and I'm just hoping they were able to travel successfully and make it to this call. But yeah, all right. I don't see Justin Klein, Banginos, which means the Thanksgiving pitch will hopefully be happening in an asynchronous format, so we can share everybody's. As I mentioned, all the pitch decks will be shared with all investors, not just the investors that were today on this call, but also all the investors that were interested, but they had the overlap in their schedule. They were not able to join live, but they will be looking at your investment opportunities and reaching out to you over the holiday season. And this holiday season is actually quite productive because I know many deals get closed during the holidays. While some people relax, other people work hard and get results. All right. So then, investors, do you want to share any final thoughts, any feedback? We wanted to hear about your insights about what you will be investing in 2026. Do you want to share with your peer investors, like what are your investment trends? What are you looking at? If you had extra funding, where you would allocate it? What are your thoughts on what will be happening in 2026? You as an investor, what kind of companies are you looking at? What are the trends you are seeing? What are your priorities? Like, where are you looking at? If you want to share as a wrap-up speech opportunity. So we have Alex, we have Ohad, we have Shubham, we have Todd, we had John, we had yeah, I understand we are running out of time. It's like literally like 1 minute left. But any final thoughts? Open microphone. Founders, thank you all for your pitches. Your information will be distributed and all the investors will receive your offers. And investors, thank you so much for joining. Now, if you want to share something, to say your final thoughts or recommendations or feedback, this is a good time. Other than that, Agneta, thank you so much. In fact, I was all this year, I was struggling to invite women investors. I was fighting with all our investors who were not female investors to actually get the female investor perspective on many of the presentations. But thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Well, I can say thank you. This has been a wonderful, great founders. And you asked earlier if we were grateful for anything. I am grateful also to have the opportunity to be surrounded and work with so many amazing founders. It's fantastic. And in terms, since I am somewhat focused on climate tech and health tech, I know since there's going to be a lot of focus on energy, on AI data centers. What can we do to reduce? So anything energy related, AI data centers, and I know some other investors at least in the climate tech area that will focus on that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. There's a few final words I want to say that as I sang our Thanksgiving message, that we want to thank all the founders and all the investors for being a part of this community, for joining our events, for being part of this global network. So we look forward to hearing more inspiring pitches and getting to know more new interesting investors. Thank you for attending. We appreciate your presence and your feedback, your support to the founder community. So if you are an investor, you want to join, just reach out to us and send us an email. We would love to have you at our future events. If you're a founder, you can apply to pitch. You send us your pitch deck, or you will be invited to join our next event. If you are a brand sponsor, if you are a firm that is providing services to startup founders or investors, you're welcome to become a sponsor for this event and even cover the cost of some of the tickets. And in exchange, you can promote your services to a global founder network, which is now accounts around 15,000 founders. We've been doing this speech events online since the pandemic, and overall we do a lot of Silicon Valley events and also events that are in different locations. As I mentioned, a tour to Central Asia is coming up. Reach out to us to learn more about that. Roadshow for investors, a tour to Middle East, investment opportunities in the Middle East as an emerging ecosystem. And Southeast Asia, we had an investor from Southeast Asia here, and although it was 3 a.m. in their time zone for this event. So we have a global network of investors that it would be interesting to plug into for founders and for investors. And we are open and happy to make new friends, partners, and please stay in touch and send us your exciting projects that you want to showcase. It will be posted on our YouTube channel as well. And finally, we definitely will be sharing all the contact information of all the people that were here in the room. I understand this travel season, everybody is going to visit their families, but still you will be able to follow up. We'll send everybody's emails so you can reach out, and we will send all the pitch decks, and we will send our investor and founder contact data for your information, for your future reference. Awesome. I want to thank Dmitry Dobograyev for being our co-host today. Dmitry, do you have any final words? You are a startup lawyer. Do you have any advice to presenting
awesome presentation, and obviously
Yeah.
I hope you felt safe having backing in me. But obviously ready to help out. Great presentation. As a person that almost lost an eyesight due to retinal detachment, people that are dealing with
Are you talking about me or yourself?
no, myself. It's not just
almost lost my
deterioration,
eyesight.
but actually I had a true retinal
Yeah.
detachment, so I had a surgery.
Wow.
Awesome things to improve our world, our life. Everybody is doing very well, and hopefully we are all entering into the golden age of America, and I wish everybody a full success. And obviously we're here in case you need somebody that is there to protect your intellectual property or contracts. And otherwise, I'm looking forward to more pitches like today. And thank you, Tatiana, for organizing these wonderful events.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you all. Yeah, it's an open mic. Somebody wants to say something, you're welcome. I understand people are running out for their errands, like Thanksgiving turkey carving.
Hey, it's Julian. I just wanted to chime in. I can't help but notice the irony that there are so many joining and leaving messages from AI note takers. Just don't do what Newton could do. It's such a
Yes, this is actually your competition that you should kind of like analyze and offer your advantage to,
Yeah,
right?
well, without a doubt, it's a lot easier to understand something visually. I think almost half of the brain is dedicated to some kind of visual processing in terms of overall.
Yeah.
So without a doubt,
Julian, I personally think that what you've shared, what you've built, belongs to a bigger audience, bigger stages. So definitely we will make sure that we share it across our network of friends, of our partners, so you can get definitely different, because it is a project that can be tailored to different industries. So you kind of want to reach out to people in different industries, and you want to kind of get in front of like many different investors. So yeah, absolutely. Also, everybody who was pitching today, as we mentioned earlier, you are invited to join our special Christmas AI Roadshow. We will have our special Christmas event when we will be showcasing solutions in specific niches and verticals. So you are more than welcome and invited to present your products. It will be more product tailored pitches other than investment business presentations, but showcase your products at this AI Roadshow and our next upcoming investor pitch event. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It was great having you, and stay in touch, and we will definitely follow up with the investment deals that emerged from this meeting. Awesome.